The very first screening of Let It Be took place in London almost a year before the movie was officially released. It was attended by all four of the Beatles on Sunday, the 20th of July, 1969, halfway through the recording of Abbey Road. The following day, John would introduce a new song to the group, Come Together, and lay down the basic track. A few years ago, photos emerged of the Beatles at this screening taken by Yoko Ono. Her camera had been stolen by some of the Apple scruffs, who then went on to develop the photos for their own personal amusement. These photos feature all four Beatles, here with Paul and Linda sharing a smooch in the back row. Yoko was also seen at John's side. George was pictured with both Patty and his father. On the same day was the Apollo 11 lunar landing, which George watched with his father that night at home. The first cut of Let It Be was around 2.5 hours long, an hour longer than the final release, and vetoed by 3 members of the band due to featuring too much of John and Yoko. The Fab Four are also shown together with Michael Lindsay Hogg sharing a meal. Roll on a year later to Wednesday the 20th of May, and the final 80-minute cut had its British premiere with simultaneous screenings in the north and south of England. Apple was not involved in the launch, and the events were organised by United Artists. Disbanded and showing no love for the movie, none of the group attended either. The London premiere was held at the London Pavilion, with guests including Richard Lester, Mary Hopkin, Spike Milligan, Lulu, Simon D, and EMI boss Sir Joseph Lockwood. Several members of the Rolling Stones and Fleetwood Mac also attended, as did around 50 Hare Krishna followers. Somewhat oddly, former Beatles partners Jane Asher and Cynthia Lennon also attended. John Lennon finally saw Let It Be in San Francisco on the advice of his therapist a month later. Nobody noticed a Beatle in the theatre because nobody was there. He went with Yoko, Rolling Stones' Jan Wenner, and his wife Jane, just before the Lennon Remembers interview. "We just bought tickets and went in," Jan Wenner said. "It was empty, afternoon and during a weekday." John broke down in tears. "I just remember walking out of the theatre and all of us in a foursome huddle, hugging, and the sadness of the occasion." The restored version of Let It Be drops on 8th of May for the world to see again in all its glory.